Imagine waking up to a cyber attack on the energy grid that knocks out the power. In today's digital age, power outages from such events could leave homes freezing and everyday heating systems completely useless. For many, this would be a disaster. But for the Amish, it's just another day. Their homes stay warm regardless of modern disruptions, thanks to timeless methods that don't rely on electricity. Wood-burning stoves. There are a lot of instances when the power can get knocked out, whether it's through a natural disaster or an impromptu power outage that could last for weeks across town. Temperatures drop rapidly and your central heating system fails. Now picture having a reliable, independent heat source that not only keeps your home warm, but creates a comforting focal point for your family. This is exactly the role wood-burning stoves have played in Amish households for generations. A lifeline of warmth, resilience, and tradition. Unlike gas or electric heating systems, these stoves operate without external power, making them highly dependable during outages or in off-grid living situations. A well-maintained stove can heat large areas of a home, and in some cases, the entire space, with consistent, radiant warmth. For the Amish, this is more than convenience. It's a way of life that embodies their values of independence and sustainability. During my visit to an Amish home one winter, I was struck by how central the stove was to daily life. Positioned in the heart of the living area, it radiated steady warmth, creating a cozy atmosphere. Meals simmered on its surface while children gathered nearby where they practiced some of their practical skills they learnt earlier that day. The stove wasn't just heating the home, it was bringing the family together. The process begins long before the first fire of the season. In warmer months, Amish families dedicate time to gathering and preparing firewood. This often involves hand tools or horse-drawn equipment to cut and split logs, which are then stacked neatly to season over several months. Properly seasoned wood burns more efficiently, producing more heat and less smoke, a crucial detail when your home depends on it. Operating the stove is a skill that requires patience and knowledge. Amish families carefully manage the airflow, adjust dampers, and regulate the burn to ensure consistent heat without overheating. Cast iron stoves, known for their excellent heat retention and durability, are commonly used, though some families have adopted modern airtight models that maximize fuel efficiency by controlling oxygen intake. The brilliance of wood-burning stoves lies in their simplicity and adaptability. These stoves are designed to use wood, a renewable, locally available resource, and turn it into consistent, radiant heat. The warmth they provide is unique, as it heats objects and surfaces rather than just the air, creating a cozier environment. In Amish homes, this method is especially effective because of how their homes are designed. Low ceilings and compact layouts help retain the stove's heat, while natural insulation, like thick walls and quilts, prevents warmth from escaping. Even the location of the stove is intentional, maximizing heat distribution throughout the home. For the average person, this can be adapted in modern homes by placing a wood stove in a central area and using fans to circulate warm air. Adding heavy curtains or draft stoppers can also enhance heat retention, making the stove's efficiency even more pronounced. If you're considering a wood-burning stove, you don't need to live off the grid to benefit. Modern wood stoves come in sleek designs with advanced features like airtight seals and controlled airflow, making them more efficient and easier to manage. To get started with a wood-burning stove, begin by choosing a model that fits your space and heating needs. Cast iron stoves are ideal for excellent heat retention, while airtight models are perfect for maximizing fuel efficiency. Next, ensure you have properly prepared firewood. Either purchase seasoned wood or gather your own, investing in a log splitter if needed. Dry wood is essential for a clean and efficient burn. Once you have your stove and wood ready, find the right spot in your home. Placing the stove in a central location will ensure maximum heat distribution. Finally, enhance your setup by using thermal curtains, draft stoppers, and ceiling fans to retain warmth and improve air circulation throughout your space. Wood-burning stoves aren't just a heating solution, they're a philosophy of resilience and sustainability. For the Amish, these stoves represent a commitment to tradition and hard work. For the rest of us, they offer a way to stay warm, independent, and prepared for anything. Whether you live in the city or the countryside, the timeless efficiency of a wood-burning stove is a powerful reminder that sometimes the simplest solutions are the most effective. While wood-burning stoves provide consistent and reliable warmth, the Amish have also mastered another ingenious method: masonry heaters. These massive stone structures take heating efficiency to an entirely new level, storing and radiating warmth long after the fire has burned out. Masonry heaters. Picture this: a cold winter morning on an Amish farm. Outside, the ground is blanketed in snow and frost clings to the windows. Inside, the air is cozy and inviting, with no visible fire burning. The secret: a masonry heater. Earlier that morning, the father of the household lit a short, roaring fire, its flames fiercely heating the dense stone structure. Hours later, the fire has long since burned out, yet the heater radiates warmth throughout the home, ensuring comfort well into the night. Masonry heaters are nothing short of remarkable. Constructed from dense materials like brick or stone, these heaters are designed to absorb the intense energy of a hot fire and release it slowly over time. Unlike traditional wood stoves, which only provide heat while actively burning, a masonry heater offers steady warmth for up to 24 hours, with just 1 or 2 short fires daily. This method not only reduces the effort required to maintain the fire, but also aligns perfectly with Amish values of self-reliance and sustainability. The key to a masonry heater's efficiency lies in its thermal mass. When the fire is burning, the brick or stone absorbs and stores heat, creating a reservoir of energy that is slowly released. This radiant heat warms objects and surfaces rather than just the air, creating a comfortable, even temperature throughout the home. For families living in colder climates, this consistent warmth makes a huge difference. One of the most impressive aspects of masonry heaters is their sustainability. Because they burn wood at such high temperatures, they produce minimal smoke and ash, making them one of the cleanest wood-burning options available. Additionally, the efficient design requires significantly less wood compared to traditional stoves or fireplaces. For the Amish, this means they can rely on smaller wood supplies harvested locally, reducing their environmental footprint and staying true to their ethos of conservation. What truly sets masonry heaters apart is their versatility. In many Amish homes, these heaters double as baking ovens. Bread, pies, and even hearty casseroles can be cooked alongside the day's heat. During a visit to an Amish household, I remember seeing loaves of freshly baked bread resting on top of a masonry heater. It wasn't just a heating solution, it was a centerpiece of family life. The heater not only warmed the home, but also nourished the family, combining practicality and tradition in one beautiful design. Masonry heaters, though rooted in tradition, are gaining popularity in modern, eco-conscious homes for their efficiency and sustainability. To make one work for you, start by planning your space, as these heaters are large and best placed centrally for even heat distribution. Investing in quality craftsmanship is essential. A skilled professional can ensure the design and functionality are perfectly suited to your needs. While the upfront cost may be significant, the long-term benefits, such as reduced wood usage, minimal smoke production, and consistent warmth, make them a worthwhile investment. For added functionality, consider a design that incorporates a baking oven, allowing you to heat your home while also saving energy in the kitchen. Masonry heaters are a perfect example of old-world ingenuity offering modern solutions. For the Amish, they represent sustainability, efficiency, and tradition. Whether you live off-grid, in a rural home, or simply want to reduce your environmental impact, a masonry heater is a powerful tool to keep your home warm and sustainable, one fire at a time. Masonry heaters offer incredible heat retention, but the Amish don't stop there. They also look to nature itself, designing their homes to capture and hold the sun's warmth through passive solar heating and strategically placed windows. Passive solar heating and window strategies. Imagine stepping into an Amish home on a crisp winter afternoon. Sunlight pours through large, south-facing windows, filling the room with a warm, golden glow. Outside, the wind bites sharply, but inside, the thick stone walls are doing their job. These walls have absorbed the sun's heat all day, and now, as dusk approaches, they slowly release it back into the room. By the time evening falls, heavy curtains are drawn over the windows to trap the day's warmth, keeping the family cosy as they gather around the table for supper. This ingenious approach to passive solar heating is one of the most effective ways the Amish maximize warmth, without relying on modern technology. The key lies in how these homes are designed. Large, south-facing windows are positioned to capture the strongest sunlight during the coldest months, when the sun is lower in the sky. Thick walls made of stone or brick act as a thermal battery, soaking up heat during the day and radiating it back into the space at night. The simplicity of this technique is its brilliance. It requires no machinery or electricity, just an understanding of how to work with nature. In one Amish home I visited, I noticed how carefully crafted the setup was. The windows were large but well insulated, and handmade curtains added a layer of protection at night, preventing the warm air from escaping into the frigid outdoors. For those looking to incorporate this approach, even small changes can make a big difference. Adding south-facing windows or optimizing existing ones to allow maximum sunlight during winter can significantly improve your home's warmth. Using thermal curtains, storm windows, or heavy drapes enhances insulation, while rearranging furniture to maximize exposure to sunlight during the day can make your space feel naturally warmer. This method isn't just for the Amish. It's a practical, cost-effective way for anyone to embrace sustainable living while reducing heating costs. Passive solar heating ensures homes stay warm naturally, but heat can also come from daily activities like cooking. In Amish kitchens, wood-fired stoves serve a dual purpose, filling the home with both warmth and the comforting aroma of fresh-baked bread. Cooking heat. Whenever you step into an Amish kitchen on a frosty morning, you'll feel an immediate, comforting warmth radiating through the space. The wood-fired stove is alive with activity. Bread bakes in the oven, a pot of stew simmers gently on the stovetop, and the heat it generates spreads far beyond the kitchen walls. This warmth isn't just about comfort. It's a lifeline during harsh winters, especially in homes where every resource must be used to its fullest potential. What struck me during my visit to an Amish home was how the design of their kitchens reflected this dual-purpose approach. The stove wasn't just for cooking, it was a central heating source. The open layout allowed the heat to flow freely into adjoining living spaces, ensuring the entire house stayed warm throughout the day. This efficiency often eliminates the need for additional heating systems during daylight hours, conserving resources while maintaining comfort. For modern homes, incorporating this practice can be both practical and simple. After baking, leaving the oven door slightly open allows the residual heat to warm your kitchen. If you're considering investing in a wood-fired stove, it's an excellent choice for those who want to combine functionality with a touch of rustic charm. These stoves are particularly useful in colder climates, where the heat from cooking can reduce overall energy costs. Even without a wood-fired setup, spending time in the kitchen during meal preparation naturally maximizes warmth, creating a central gathering place that brings the family together. Wood-fired stoves do double duty, warming kitchens while preparing hearty meals. But keeping that heat in place is just as important. Heat retention through quilting and insulation. Amish quilts are renowned for their beauty, but they're also incredibly functional. Heavy, multi-layered quilts hung over windows act as thermal barriers, blocking drafts and keeping warm air inside. In one home, I noticed a thick quilt covering the front door. It wasn't decorative. It served as an extra shield against the bitter cold. These quilts, often handmade, are an integral part of maintaining warmth in Amish homes without modern insulation materials. Beyond quilts, the Amish use natural resources like straw bales and sheep's wool for insulation. Straw, tightly packed into wooden frames, creates an eco-friendly barrier that rivals modern methods. Sheep's wool, with its excellent insulating properties, is commonly used in attics and crawl spaces to prevent heat loss. One winter evening, I found myself in a modest Amish home where the outdoor temperatures had plunged well below freezing. Inside, the atmosphere was surprisingly warm, not due to central heating, but thanks to layers of beautifully crafted quilts and the use of natural insulation. This combination of artistry and practicality is a hallmark of Amish ingenuity, where even the simplest resources are used to their fullest potential. If you're inspired by these techniques, you can adopt similar practices in your own home. Hang heavy curtains, layered blankets, or even quilts over windows and doors to reduce drafts. For a more permanent solution, consider incorporating natural insulation materials like wool or straw into your DIY projects. During my visit, I marveled at how these readily available materials were transformed into an effective and sustainable insulation system that kept the home warm with minimal energy expenditure. These methods not only reduce energy costs, but also promote sustainability, proving that sometimes the simplest solutions are the most effective. Amish quilts and natural insulation keep cold air out and warmth inside, even on the harshest days. But the thing is, warmth can come from surprising sources too. Kerosene and oil lanterns. Lanterns aren't the primary heat source in Amish homes, but they play a crucial supporting role. Families often use them in areas that aren't close to a wood stove or masonry heater, like bedrooms or workshops. The portability of these lamps allows them to move easily from room to room, providing both light and warmth exactly where it's needed. Picture this: a small Amish bedroom on a cold winter night. A single kerosene lantern sits on the bedside table, casting a warm glow while gently warming the room. The flame flickers steadily, offering just enough heat to take the edge off the chill, making the space feel cozy despite the freezing temperatures outside. During especially cold winters, some families use multiple lanterns in smaller spaces, creating a noticeable difference in temperature. The simplicity of these lamps aligns perfectly with the Amish lifestyle. They're cost-effective, require minimal maintenance, and offer dual functionality. For those considering kerosene or oil lanterns, they can be a practical backup heating option, especially during power outages. They're also a charming way to bring both light and warmth to a space, perfect for creating a cozy atmosphere on cold nights. Lanterns provide light and a gentle warmth, perfect for smaller spaces, but for longer-lasting warmth, the Amish look underground. Root cellars and basements. I recall visiting one such cellar tucked beneath a farmhouse. The family had arranged a few chairs and a small workbench near the walls, lined with jars of preserved food. It was a functional space, but it also served as a warm retreat during the coldest months. The natural insulation provided by the earth kept the cellar's temperature stable, making it an ideal place to work, gather, or even rest. By staying in these spaces during the day, Amish families minimise the need to heat the upper floors of their homes. This practical use of space not only saves fuel, but also aligns with their ethos of efficiency and resourcefulness. The thick stone walls and packed earth create a natural thermal barrier, preventing the extreme cold from penetrating while keeping warmth in. On any extremely cold day, stepping into an Amish root cellar feels like entering another world. There's an earthy stillness, a steady temperature, and a surprising warmth that comes not from fire, but from the ground itself. Root cellars and basements in Amish homes are more than just storage spaces for vegetables and canned goods. They're crucial for surviving the winter. If you're looking to replicate this idea, consider turning your basement into a cosy space for the winter months. Add insulation to walls and floors, or use heavy rugs to trap heat. Even if you don't have a root cellar, creating a well-insulated, earth-sheltered area in your home can help reduce your heating needs and keep energy costs down. Earth-insulated basements double as warm workspaces during winter, and the outdoors can be just as strategic. Radiant heat from livestock. Anyone who has walked past an Amish barn in the dead of winter can feel the subtle warmth radiating from within. The idea that livestock could help heat a nearby home hadn't occurred to me until I saw how the Amish strategically position their barns close to living spaces. It's not as though the cows or horses are huddled up next to the house, but the proximity matters. The heat generated by livestock, especially in larger barns, creates a buffer against the freezing outdoor temperatures. Some homes even have shared walls with barns or stables, allowing the warmth from the animals to naturally radiate into living spaces. I remember watching the steam rise from the barn as the animals moved about inside. It was clear that the body heat of the livestock combined with their breath kept the barn significantly warmer than the surrounding environment. This warmth helps reduce the strain on the home's primary heating systems. If you're not raising livestock, you can still borrow this principle. For instance, garages or workshops connected to your home can act as buffers against the cold if insulated properly. It's a clever way to make use of any residual warmth from these spaces, reducing your overall heating needs. Windbreaks and landscaping. It's easy to overlook the rows of trees and hedges surrounding an Amish farm. At first glance, they seem like natural elements of the landscape, but they serve a far more intentional purpose. They're windbreaks. These strategically planted barriers reduce cold drafts around the home and outbuildings, making a significant difference in how warm the structures stay. Windbreaks are usually composed of a combination of dense evergreen trees, shrubs, and sometimes tall grasses. These plants slow down the wind as it approaches the home, reducing the wind chill effect and minimizing heat loss. For Amish families, this means their homes and barns require less fuel to stay warm. I remember standing behind one of these windbreaks during a particularly chilly visit, and the difference was startling. On one side, the wind bit sharply at my face, but behind the row of tall evergreens, the air felt still and noticeably warmer. This clever use of landscaping is a testament to the Amish's deep understanding of nature and its ability to provide solutions. What struck me most was how these windbreaks were placed with precision. Trees were planted in rows perpendicular to the prevailing wind, ensuring maximum coverage. Hedges and bushes were added in layers, creating a tiered system that not only blocked the wind, but also enhanced the farm's natural beauty. For those inspired by this practice, you can create your own windbreak by planting a mix of evergreen trees and shrubs around your property. Even a small hedge near a frequently used door can help reduce drafts. Over time, this simple adjustment can make a noticeable difference in your home's heat retention and energy efficiency, especially during harsh winters. Rows of trees and hedges block icy winds and reduce drafts around homes. Even with limited resources, small-scale solutions work wonders. Heating with biomass. The first time I saw an Amish family heating their home with biomass, I was struck by how resourceful the method was. They used corn cobs collected after the harvest, burning them in a small stove to create steady, efficient heat. It was a perfect example of turning waste into a valuable resource. Biomass fuels, such as sawdust, compressed wood bricks, or even agricultural waste, are renewable and easy to source locally. Some Amish communities prefer these fuels because they align with their sustainable values. For instance, sawdust from a local woodworking shop might be compressed into briquettes and used throughout the winter. In one instance, I watched as a family prepared their biomass fuel, carefully stacking the corn cobs they had dried after the harvest. It made me realize how much effort goes into planning for winter, but also how much they gain from reducing waste and relying on renewable resources. If you're interested in using biomass, there are modern options available. Pellet stoves, for example, burn compressed biomass pellets cleanly and efficiently. It's a simple way to incorporate Amish-inspired sustainability into your heating routine while reducing your reliance on traditional fuels. The Amish burn renewable resources like corn cobs and sawdust for steady heat, and sometimes they take it a step further with their home designs. Earth-sheltered homes. Visiting a farm on the outskirts of an Amish community, I once saw a partially earth-sheltered home that blended so seamlessly into the landscape it was almost camouflaged. Inside, the temperature was noticeably stable, cool in the summer and warm in the winter. The secret was in the way the house was built, using the natural insulation of the earth itself. By constructing the home against a hillside or partially burying it, the Amish take advantage of the earth's thermal properties. The ground acts as a natural insulator, maintaining a steady temperature that buffers the home from extreme weather. It's an approach that requires little maintenance and offers year-round comfort. I remember thinking how innovative this method was, despite its simplicity. It made me reflect on how much energy could be saved by adopting similar techniques. For those considering this approach, fully earth-sheltered homes might not be practical, but incorporating elements like earth berms or planting windbreaks can significantly improve insulation and reduce heating costs. Homes partially built into the earth stay naturally warm in winter and cool in summer, but even the smallest, simplest tools can offer surprising warmth. Clay pot heaters, terracotta heaters. One of the most surprising observations I got from visiting the Amish workshop is that the air felt surprisingly warm despite the lack of a traditional stove. On a wooden workbench sat a simple but ingenious contraption, a terracotta pot inverted over a candle. This wasn't just a source of light, it was a makeshift heater, radiating warmth into the small space. Clay pot heaters, often made with materials as basic as terracotta pots, a metal base, and a few candles, are used by the Amish as supplementary heat sources. The principle is simple. The candle heats the clay pot, which absorbs and then radiates the warmth slowly. While it won't heat an entire house, it's effective in smaller enclosed spaces like a workshop, bedroom, or reading nook. During that visit, I remember being impressed by how resourceful this method was. The materials were inexpensive and readily available, yet the heater's impact was tangible. It's a perfect example of the Amish philosophy of making do with what's on hand while avoiding waste or excess. This method also struck a chord with me personally. I've tried making one myself during a cold snap, and while it didn't replace my regular heating, it made my workspace much more comfortable without turning up the thermostat. If you're curious about trying this at home, all you need is a terracotta pot, a candle, and a metal stand to support the pot above the flame. Just be cautious to place it on a heat-proof surface and monitor it carefully. It's a simple, affordable way to add a touch of warmth to your space, inspired by the resourceful Amish lifestyle. Terracotta heaters turn candles into a simple, effective heat source for small spaces. But what if you're looking for modern options? Modern options: wood and pellet stoves. When winter sets in, many homeowners seek sustainable and efficient ways to keep warm without breaking the bank. The Amish have mastered this challenge over generations, and while you don't need to live off-grid to adopt their techniques, modern homes can incorporate elements of their practices to reduce costs and improve energy efficiency. Imagine a cold evening in your living room. A sleek, modern wood stove, radiating warmth, while a gentle fire flickers inside. Wood stoves are no longer clunky relics. They've evolved into efficient, stylish heating systems that bring Amish-inspired practicality into the 21st century. For those wanting the charm of a wood stove without the hassle, modern airtight designs offer advanced features like controlled airflow and better fuel efficiency. These stoves burn wood more effectively, producing less smoke and requiring less fuel, all while maintaining a cosy ambience. If firewood access or air quality concerns are an issue, pellet stoves provide a fantastic alternative. They burn compressed wood pellets made from recycled materials, offering a cleaner burn with minimal ash. These stoves often come with automated feeding systems, so you can enjoy the warmth of a fire without the constant tending. Whether you live in a rural cabin or a suburban home, wood and pellet stoves bring a touch of Amish practicality while fitting seamlessly into modern life. Wood and pellet stoves combine Amish efficiency with modern convenience, but their most enduring warmth comes from something much simpler: passive heating techniques. Stepping into an Amish home during winter, you might notice something remarkable. Warmth lingers not just because of a roaring fire, but thanks to the thoughtful design and natural materials of the home itself. The Amish excel at using passive heating techniques to maximize the heat they generate while minimizing energy use. Take their building materials, for example. Many Amish homes feature thick stone or brick walls, which function as thermal mass. During the day, these walls absorb heat from sunlight, streaming through large, south-facing windows. As temperatures drop at night, the stored warmth is released gradually, keeping the home cozy. It's a natural greenhouse effect that requires no machinery or modern technology. Window placement is strategic. South-facing windows are carefully positioned to capture the sun's strongest rays in winter, while compact layouts and low ceilings help trap and distribute heat more effectively. At night, thick curtains or shutters are used to retain the warmth, preventing heat from escaping through the glass. This thoughtful design extends beyond windows. The homes have fewer exterior openings, reducing heat loss, and rely on natural insulation like stone and brick for durability and consistent performance. Unlike synthetic materials, which degrade over time, these natural options ensure homes stay warm for years to come. If you're inspired to adopt similar techniques, adding south-facing windows, incorporating thermal mass materials like stone, or even weatherproofing doors and windows can significantly reduce heating costs. Small adjustments like using heavy curtains or rearranging furniture to maximize sunlight exposure can make a noticeable difference, bringing a touch of Amish ingenuity to your own home. While the Amish use thoughtful design and natural materials to harness passive heating, not every corner of a home can rely solely on sunlight or thermal mass. For smaller spaces or areas farther from central heat sources, they turn to simpler, more localized solutions like candles and oil lamps, which offer both light and subtle warmth. Candles and oil lamps. I remember sitting in a dimly lit Amish home one winter evening where the soft glow of beeswax candles cast a warm, golden hue over the room. It wasn't just the light that made the space inviting. It was the subtle warmth radiating from those tiny flames. Candles and oil lamps are staples in Amish households, providing localized heat and light in spaces where larger heating systems might not reach. Beeswax and tallow candles are particularly effective because they burn slower and produce a steady warmth. I noticed how a few strategically placed candles in the kitchen made the room feel surprisingly cozy, even with snow falling just outside the window. Oil lamps, often fueled by kerosene or natural oils, offer similar benefits. Their soft heat is perfect for small, enclosed spaces, like bedrooms or work areas. I once used a small oil lamp during a power outage, and while it didn't heat the entire room, it kept the chill at bay near my workspace. The Amish take this concept to heart, using these simple tools as both practical and sustainable supplements to their main heating methods. For anyone inspired by this practice, beeswax candles or oil lamps can serve as emergency backups or even cozy additions to your home. Not only do they provide light, but their subtle warmth can make a noticeable difference in smaller spaces. Although candles and oil lamps help maintain warmth in individual spaces, there's another source of heat that's often overlooked: the warmth of a community. For the Amish, coming together for gatherings isn't just about connection. It's also a practical way to conserve resources and share the load of heating. Community practices. The warmth of an Amish home doesn't just come from its design or heating methods. It also comes from the people. During the winter, Amish families often host communal gatherings, whether for church services, quilting bees, or social events. These gatherings create a shared warmth, both literal and figurative, that reduces the strain on individual households. I once attended an Amish quilting gathering during the colder months, and the combined heat from the wood stove and the sheer number of people in the room made it feel like summer inside. Everyone worked together, shared stories, and contributed to the warmth of the space. This practice not only fosters a sense of community, but also reduces the overall need for separate heating. Communal practices like this are a reminder of how interconnected the Amish way of life is. By coming together, they conserve resources and ensure that no one household bears the full burden of winter heating. For modern homes, this could translate into shared spaces or hosting gatherings to reduce individual energy use. Even something as simple as spending more time in a single heated room with family or friends can make a significant difference in energy savings. You don't have to overhaul your home to embrace these techniques. Start small. Research local options for wood or pellet stoves. Try DIY insulation hacks or invest in thicker drapes. These incremental steps can have a lasting impact, reducing energy costs and making your home more sustainable, without sacrificing comfort. For anyone seeking warmth, efficiency, and sustainability, the Amish have already shown us the way. By combining their time-tested methods with modern conveniences, it's easier than ever to create a home that's both cozy and kind to the planet.